So for $60, I can repair the drop in the gravel pit that I posted a video about, a short and a long form. And really, my clutch tip got scratched, my weighted end got scratched, and my stator got scratched. So I ordered $60 worth of materials to do this job. And I taped everything with Walmart bags, taped everything around, and I ordered some matching paint, which will handle these scratches right here and actually match the exact paint, as well as a little tiny bit on this fairing here, which isn't much, but I'll fix it and it'll be just like new, exactly the paint match. So when you drop your bike, depending on how fast you're going, obviously, and if you got quite a bit of control, you can save yourself a ton of money. But in all reality, with doing this stuff, you really got to pay attention to it. So I used this engine enamel, which is Ford Black, and it has ceramic, but it withstands heat up to 500 Fahrenheit, and that's exactly the kind of stuff you want. And if you look back here, you see where it says that Ford Semi-Gloss Black. That's perfect for fixing that. And you got to clean the areas up with alcohol and then scrub them down with some. You can either use a scratch pad, which most people have in their kitchen, or you can actually use some sandpaper, but it's got to be a 600 grit or something like that. But you just got to double check. But look at that. You're never going to know that, okay? That's just a simple fact. If you can save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars for $60, you can repair your own bike. Look at that. You can't even tell. And that paint cures, so when it cures, it's going to be very solid. Now, the heat can't get up here, but that'll heat cure down there in the stator. Give it about 13 and a half hours before I even ride, and the curing cycle will begin. So again, you know, when I dropped my bike, it was over the weekend. I wasn't happy about it, and it sucked because that gravel pit was deep. It was like riding on marbles, and no matter how much skill you have, hey, sometimes you end up in those situations coming around a blind corner. You're on a fast road at 65 miles an hour. You don't have the time to literally slow down as much as you like because cars coming behind you, they're going well over 65. And then before you know it, you're right into it and into the thick of it. You have to concentrate, and you literally have to use your skill and muscle memory. But lucky for me, I got down to a low speed when I lost my front end, and I set my bike down, but it still, because it's a bunch of rocks and dirt, it still scratched it. But here I am fixing that bad boy up. And that's the kicker. You know, I could buy a new stator cover like other people do. Oh, you should get some sliders and stuff like that, but I don't like those. I had them on my R1 and they broke right off when that bike went down. They just ripped right off. And I definitely don't want to experience that again. But at the end of the day, when you can do that and you can fix your stuff and learn about doing this stuff, you're going to save yourself a ton of money. Not only that, you're going to learn a lot about your bike and the color and the different things. Now, I don't see too many people making videos on things like this and how they're fixing their bikes other than mechanics and guys that actually really delve into it by checking their bike really well, taking the gas tanks off and all that. But painting them, or you know, you could buy new fairings for several $100, $1,000. But why would I do that when I can actually get the paint that matches and make it exactly like it is if it ain't broken? If it's not broken, then you can fix it and you can do it. You just have to take the time to do it and have the patience and the ability to be able to actually go through and learn about it. We, today in this era, have information at our hands that's absolutely unbelievable. Now, am I going to say I'm a painter? No. Am I going to say I'm a moto mechanic? Absolutely not. But am I going to learn about it, and am I going to try to fix it? Absolutely. So do yourself a favor, learn about your bike. If you do happen to set it down, scratch the fairings, or these fairings look like crap and they're all scratched up, learn about the mix and match paint. Buy the mix and match paint, pull your fairings off and paint them. It's that simple. Save yourself thousands to hundreds of dollars. Stay vigilant and practice.